Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Jedi In Exile. You keep wanting them, so we keep giving them. We are on episode 3 of our Andor reaction, so the final episode of this 3-episode premiere from Disney. So if you've missed them, we have done an episode 1 and episode 2 review show. You'll be able to see the link up in the description. Not down. It's up in the description. And of course, as ever, we ask you to please do like, please subscribe, please comment, whether it's good, bad, whatever. And also click the notification bell so that you never miss any of our content. And thank you so much for everybody who has done that so far. So let's start. So episode 3, the final episode, like we say, of this 3-episode premiere. Now our ratings for episode 1 and 2 have been a little bit, on the lower side, shall we say, which is not like us for Star Wars content, unless it's sequels. But yeah, episode 3, talk me through your initial thoughts, Matthew.
So, thank God we got a payoff, is all I'm going to say. Do you know what? That's probably a bit harsh because that makes it sound like I didn't enjoy episode 1 and episode 2, and I did enjoy them. They were just, I'm going to use that famous word, slow. We've been building, and this was the payoff episode. And honestly, I was here for it. I really enjoyed episode 3. I think it's now starting to send the series in the direction that we were hoping it was going to go in, and that we predicted that it would go in. Stellan Skarsgård's character, obviously in the buyer. I don't think he's actually got a name at the moment, right? But he's
we'll call him the dad for now.
He's in
Mamma Mia reference,
and met up with Cassian, and they've had this big chat, and he's made it very clear that he's doing something to fight the Empire. That's all he said. We don't know.
Don't you want to fight these bastards for real?
Yeah. Obviously, we had some brutal deaths.
Can we also talk about the fact that we've got the guy, and when he came on screen, I was like, "That's the guy from The Mummy." So, where he flies the basically the hot air balloon helicopter thing.
Right.
In the Mummy films, the black guy.
Oh yeah.
He's with Martha, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's him from the Mummy!" From 20 years ago. I'm waiting for Brendan Fraser to pop up as well.
What a callback! Obviously, we got a little bit more explanation about what's going on with the Crash Republic ship in the flashbacks, and flashbacks. Kind of how Cassian ended up with Martha, and kind of what's going on there. So that's quite cool. Big Tim died. Not going to say he deserved it, but
yeah.
And obviously Bix is heartbroken. But I think that the big culmination was obviously the kind of the showdown of the security forces. The thing that I really liked was that Cassian made mistakes. Like
he's clearly not the polished agent that he is in Rogue One, is he?
Give him B2 the comms unit, and then the horrendous timing of him trying to contact B2 while all the security people were there, and still very much not found his reason to fight yet, if that makes sense, because even when they were getting attacked, he tried to go back for the computer, I'm going to call it the box, the computer chip, whatever it was, to try and make money. So no, I thought it was really good. We got to see some pretty cool stuff. I
like the new style Republic gunships. I know they're not actually Republic gunships, but
I really like it's like an extra industrial version of the LAAT, right? So that was pretty cool because that was again a callback for fans.
That's prequels fans.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and it also started to kind of hint about this whole people coming together to fight the power, because when the security people were there,
whole
the whole like banging on the metal
yeah.
stuff like was really cool, and that's the sound of a reckoning like was a pretty badass line, to be fair. But I think it's continued very much in the same vein, that it's that gritty, like the fight with Stellan Skarsgård and Cassian against the security guys was pretty cool. Like, and again, like you said, he wasn't that polished kind of agent that we have seen him be in Rogue One. So, I was impressed.
Yeah, I think my overarching thoughts were that it was better than episode 1 and 2. I think there was more in this because of the action, because of the whole, the bit in the warehouse with the two of them fighting the guards, and then outside, and all culminated obviously in them escaping on the speeder. That officer is an interesting character for me, because I don't know whether he's going to be in the series really going forward. I don't know what, obviously with Cassian making it off-world now, I don't know whether this part of the story is going to be left behind, but that officer seems so put together in episode 1 and 2, didn't he? And in episode 3, when he's actually on the ground, I don't think he's seen much action, has he?
No.
He's definitely like a
still very wet behind
pencil
the ears.
pusher. Yeah, absolutely. So it'd be interesting to see how his character is developed and played out over this series. I like the Scottish commander, like the sergeant, basically.
It's interesting because do you see the bit where he's like drinking? Like,
like
and I was like, what is going on here? Like, this guy is off his head. No, I think, obviously, again, like the Imperial officer, I don't know the guy's name, but in the preview stuff, a big thing was made about kind of him. So I get the kind of impression that this is going to become like quite a personal vendetta against him versus Cassian, and the fact that Cassian like tied him up, and then they tricked them, didn't they, with the speeder thing. Like, so he's got the better of him. So I think he's probably out for revenge, which will.
Well, that was the whole figure out your exit when you enter. I liked that a lot. I'm going to start using that.
I feel like Stellan Skarsgård's definitely going to be one of the people that, like, I wouldn't be surprised, and none of the references are coming to mind just now, but when Cassian's trying to teach Jyn and kind of says to her, like, think about this or think about that or think about this, I feel like Stellan Skarsgård's going to essentially teach Cassian, so we're going to get that kind of, here is him learning it, so that when you then go watch Rogue One, you see him pass it on.
He's almost like the equivalent of a Saw Gerrera and a...
who we are still going to see at some point.
Yes, and a Harrison Dula, who are like head of different factions of rebellion.
Yeah.
And obviously, I feel like it's then going to be, he's an agent of Mon Mothma maybe, and Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and Ralakbar, they're the ones who are then going to put the rebellion together, and make it a unified,
force
unit against against the Empire. So I feel like he's on that same level as Saw Gerrera and Hera from obviously who we've seen in Rebels. So yeah, I think that the episode is slightly longer than episode 2, so there was a bit more that happened. Clearly this one, I think the just main difference was the action in it. Clearly the people do not like that security force. I don't really want to call them Empire. They're like a corporate governance, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which, whatever. But it's ended quite nicely. So Cassian has escaped on the speeder bike with Stellan Skarsgård, and we don't know where they're going yet. So episode 4 for me will be really key as to where he's gone. Is he being taken to like high up in the rebellion? Like, is he going to Mon Mothma now, or like? This is now the start of him becoming the Cassian Andor that we see in Rogue One.
This is his recruitment, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I really liked about this episode was the pacing. I felt like this was much better in that it wasn't just... don't get me wrong, I know we said that episode 1 and episode 2 were a bit slower, but this wasn't just straight in with explosion, gunfight, explosion. Like there was still plot being played out. You know, with like the actual business meeting. I feel like Bix has been too big of a character in these first couple of episodes to now just disappear from the series. Particularly now that she also probably has a reason to fight at some point.
There's got to be some history with Cassian and Bix. I'm not talking about romantic history, but there's got to be some kind of history why they're so close. And also his friend at the junkyard.
Is it Brasso?
Yeah, who covered for him in episode 1.
Yeah, and then tied the ship attached the ship
to the Old Republic gunship thing. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of characters there that maybe will join him in his journey. Or maybe they might come back for,
or they might be getting set up for a season 2. Like, we just don't know, do we? Yeah. I think is the massive thing here.
I think from episode 4 though, we're going to start getting some juicy episodes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that we're now starting to venture into Saw Gerrera, Mon Mothma, like all of that sort of territory, and the sort of territory
Bring the whole gang together.
Yeah, and the sort of territory where, you know, if he's escaped off planet and out of the territory of this corporate officer, there's every possibility that he steps up into the formal empire at some point, right? Because you know, we've seen all the Imperial Admiral shots and all of that kind of stuff.
Dare I say it's Admiral Piet?
Maybe.
I was thinking at the start of watching episode 3, I was like, when I was seeing the officer, I was like, they definitely need to do a origin story,
like Ozzel or someone like that. Just pick an officer.
Well, they just call it Piet. Like it's the Solo Piet, a Star Wars story. Like,
but no,
need that.
I think on the whole, pleasantly surprised, and kind of, I'm not gonna say that it's saved it, because it wasn't saving it. I was always going to watch it, and I was enjoying it, but definitely moved it. Like, it's put me in a more positive frame of mind for where it is now moving things, and where we're gonna head. And I completely agree with you. I think we're in for some very juicy content over the next couple of episodes.
Absolutely. So in terms of score then, so episode 1 we gave an average score of 6.375.
Yeah.
Episode 2 we both gave a 6.5, so that's nice and straightforward. Episode 3, what are you giving this one?
7.5.
Ooh. I'm going 7.
Okay.
I don't feel like it warrants more than a 7 personally.
Okay.
Just because there's a bit of action in it, but you know, we're all entitled to our opinion. So that gives us an average of 7.25, which is good, because by my calculations, by episode 6 we'll be on like the 9s and 10s.
We're trending in the right direction. That is the important thing.
Exactly,
trending in the right direction.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it's good.
No, I completely agree. I think perfect way to sum it up is reserved after the first couple of episodes, but definitely more positive frame of mind. Let's see where we track to over the next couple of episodes and where the series takes us. Guys, let us know in the comments down below if you agree with us. Is there anything kind of key that we have missed over the past couple of episodes? Because we would love to know. Are you guys enjoying it? Are you going to stick it out if you're not enjoying it and kind of see what's happening? Let us know, because we love to hear from you. While you're down in that comment section, why not hit like and subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. To those of you that have, thank you so much. And all that is left to say is we will see you all real soon in the next one.
May the Force be with you all.